Our discussion about the signs of the final hour, the signs of Qiyamah, the Day of Judgment. So the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he has stated, لا تقوم الساعة. The final hour shall not be established, shall not take place, حتى يقتتل فئتان فيكون بينهما مقتل عظيما دعواهما واحدة. The final hour shall not take place until two groups of the Muslims will go to war with one another, into battle with one another. And a great war will take place. And the reality will be that their da'wah, their claim, their belief will be one. They will all have the same objective. They will have the same goal. They will want the same outcome. Nevertheless, you have two groups of the Muslims who will go to war against one another. They will claim to be upon the haqq, the truth. They will claim to be upon tawheed, and they will want the best. They will think that they are raising the profile of the Muslims of Islam itself. Now, when we look into the commentary of this particular hadith, the vast majority of the commentators of the hadith, they explain that this refers to the war that took place between Sayyidina Ali radiallahu anhu and Sayyidina Muawiyah radiallahu anhu. And one thing I need to point out to you, my brothers and sisters, is that Islam itself as a religion is a divine religion, no doubt at all whatsoever. But our history is very human. Our history is very human. So the battle took place between these two great companions. And it's called the Battle of Siffin, which took place between Hijaz and Sham, Levant, as we know it to be today. And why did it take place? I'm not going to go into the full history, but I'm going to extract the lessons from it. Why did this battle take place between these two companions? So they are the companions of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But what led them to this? So before Ali radiallahu anhu, he took office, he became Amir al-Mu'mineen, head of state, head of the Islamic Empire. Who was in charge? It was none other than Uthman bin Affan radiallahu anhu. Uthman was in charge. And we had a group of rebels who put themselves together, formed themselves a party in Egypt and other places, who weren't happy with the leadership of Uthman radiallahu anhu. And they rebelled against him. And they slowly made their way to Medina. And eventually, what did they do? They assassinated Uthman radiallahu anhu. Now, Uthman radiallahu anhu, he was from Banu Umayyah. He's an Umayyi. So was Muawiyah radiallahu anhu. And Muawiyah radiallahu anhu, his father was Abu Sufyan radiallahu anhu. So they're from one tribe, one clan. Now, when Uthman has been taken out radiallahu anhu, Ali radiallahu anhu takes office. In Masjid al-Nabawi, in Medina, the Muslims come and they give bay'ah, they pledge the allegiance to him, radiallahu anhu. So now Ali radiallahu anhu is in charge. At this moment in time, Muawiyah radiallahu anhu, he is stationed in Asham, in Syria. So why is he stationed over there? Ali radiallahu anhu demanded that Muawiyah come to him and he also give the bay'ah, the pledge of allegiance. Now, Muawiyah radiallahu anhu said that I cannot give it until we seek retribution from those who had murdered Uthman radiallahu anhu. So could you imagine what's happening now? Ali radiallahu anhu, he wants the allegiance from him. Muawiyah is saying, I will give it to you, but only if after you seek retribution, you do what we call qisas. You seek equal retaliation from those who had murdered Uthman radiallahu anhu. And this is something which is found in our Sharia. So he wanted to avenge the blood of his family member, because they're from the same clan. So what happens now? Ali radiallahu anhu, he wanted to stabilize the ummah before taking any action. He's coming to power. Imagine the leader's just been assassinated. Everything's chaotic, everything's out of place. So he wants to establish the ummah, the khilafah. He wants to stabilize the economy. So, as I was saying, Ali radiallahu anhu, he had one objective, and Muawiyah, no, I want my family members retribution. I want blood. And therefore these two companions of Allah eventually led to them going into battle. So this is what happened. Now so the scholars, they say that this hadith is referring to this battle that took place. It took place in the 37th year of the Hijri. Many companions lost their lives in this battle. Many of the companions. And if we look at the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, truly, we see that the Prophet ﷺ, he prophesied it. Now, is it really this battle or not? Wallahu ta'ala a'lam. Could it be that later on another group will come, another two groups will come, and they will fight with one another? Allah knows best. Nevertheless, what lesson can we take from it ourselves, my dear brothers and sisters? We need to understand. What we need to understand is that unity, brotherhood, is something very important in our religion. That when two groups go against each other with the same claim, and the brotherhood is shattered and is broken down, it becomes a sign of the kind of Allah Almighty will say in the Quran, إِنَّمَا الْمُؤْمِنُونَ إِخْوَةٌ. إِنَّمَا الْمُؤْمِنُونَ إِخْوَةٌ. We know this verse. That all the believers, they were brethren. They're all brothers. فَأَصْبِحُوا بَيْنَهُم. So therefore reconciliate between them. وَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ. And have the consciousness of Allah, beware of Allah the Almighty. لَعَلَّكُمْ تُرْحَمُونَ. That so that you may be showered with the mercy. When this brotherhood is taken away, my brothers and sisters, when that sisterhood is taken away, the unity is taken away, everything starts to fall apart, starts to come away, and we start to lose one another. How many times have we seen two Muslim parties going at one another? Everybody's after the truth. Everybody's got the right intention, but we know that one has to be upon haqq and the other one isn't. The scholars will say that Ali was upon the haqq, and Muawiyah made a misjudgment. We're not going to say he's wrong. He's a Sahabi, radiallahu anhu. We have to say after his name, radiallahu anhu. Allah the Almighty is pleased with him, and He is pleased with the other. So, what we need to understand, my brothers and sisters, when that brotherhood is gone, it's withdrawing the day of judgment near ourselves. Such was the wisdom of the Prophet ﷺ, the teachings of the Prophet ﷺ, that in each action that he wanted to bring the Muslims together, the Prophet ﷺ would say, "La tahasadu." Let none of you have envy, jealousy towards one another. Somebody's got something better, make dua for him. Don't be jealous. Don't think to yourself that he doesn't deserve it, I should have it. No, the Prophet ﷺ said, do not have jealousy and envy amongst yourselves. وَلَا تَنَاجَشُوا. And be such Muslims that you don't inflict your prices for one another. Look after one another. You know what happens? You know when you go traveling to other countries and they get a whiff of our Britishness. What happens? Immediately in all the shops, the prices go up. It doubles, triples. Has anyone experienced this before? Yeah, I think we all have. As soon as you say a few words of English, then everybody wants to charge you as much as they can. وَلَا تَنَاجَشُوا. Prophet said, Allah will say, do not inflate the prices. This is what causes disunity. You want brotherhood. He continues, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, do not hate one another. Do not hate one another. If you've got an issue with someone, hash it out. Sit down, speak about it. Lay out all the issues on the table. But don't hold the grudge within ourselves. It will cause our disunity, our downfall. وَلَا تَدَابَرُوا. And do not turn our backs on one another. We support one another. We don't turn our backs. We don't abandon one another. This is not what Islam teaches. وَلَا يَبِعْ بَعْضُكُمْ عَلَى بِعْضٍ بَعْضٍ. And do not let one come and make a transaction, an offer upon the transaction of his brother. If I want to buy a car from somebody here today, and I offer him £500, and then Shahada comes and says, you know what, don't give it to Sheikh Eunus, give it to me, I'll give you £600. So the Prophet said, this is not allowed. That's what they can't do between us. Inshallah. But this is what the Prophet is saying. We need to look after one another. We don't have malice and evil towards one another. And then he says, وَقُولُوا عِبَادُ اللَّهِ إِخْوَانًا. And be together the servants of Allah as brothers. We stand next to each other in salah every day as brothers. We will attend the janazah of one another as brothers. We will bury one another as brothers. And we hope to be resurrected and gathered together in Jannah as brothers. Ameen. So the Prophet is telling us, unity is something very important to us. Al-Muslim, Muslim. The Muslim is the brother of another Muslim. لا يظلمه ولا يخذله ولا يكذبه ولا يحقره. He does not oppress him. He does not lie to him. He does not embarrass him, it does not shame him, he does not think lowly of him. And the Prophet ﷺ says, Al-taqwa hahuna, and he pointed at his chest 3 times, that taqwa is in the heart, it's in the bosom. And he says, it is enough for a Muslim to be labeled as evil. It is enough for a Muslim to be labeled as evil if he thinks he's better than someone else. If you consider somebody else to be lower than you, then it is sufficient for that person to be labeled evil. SubhanAllah. How many times do we think, this brother, that brother, we're better than him, why is it that he is like this, he is like that? May Allah gives him understanding. And then he says, كُلُّ الْمُسْلِمْ عَلَى الْمُسْلِمِ, that every Muslim has a right over the other Muslim in regards to his blood, being his physical being. We do not assault them, we do not attack them, and in terms of his finances, and in terms of his honor. The Prophet has given us the formula of how to bring together the Muslim Ummah, how to be brothers, how to be sisters, how to bring about unity within ourselves. I leave you with the final hadith of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He says, "Unsur akhaka zaliman wa mazluma." Help your brother, whether he be the oppressor or the oppressed. Help your brother, whether he be the oppressor or the oppressed. So the companions, they asked, Ya Rasulullah, we understand the oppressed, we can help him. We can help him. Somebody is doing wrong, injustice is taking place, we will support him. How will we help the oppressor, Ya Rasulullah? The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam says that stopping and preventing from the oppression that he is causing. Remove him from that. And this is how we will help him. Look at how the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is trying to bring everybody together. So I take you back to the first hadith. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam says that the final hour shall not be established until 2 groups will come together and a great battle will take place and their call is one. Brothers and sisters, we need to remember that unity is very important in our religion, and when we start to lose our unity, it is bringing the Qiyamah close. May Allah the Almighty give us an understanding. Subhanallah wa bihamdihi, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.